Hi fourth graders, welcome back. This is our third math video. Today I'm going to be doing a lesson to help you with your packet day 1. It's going to be your packet for Monday, May 4th. Okay. Today's work is going to be looking at the target of reviewing our vocabulary of geometry. So when we left in March, we were just finishing up our Unit 5, which was geometry. And so we're going to go back today and talk about that vocabulary. The worksheet pages are going to be a review for you. When I talk about geometry, some of the things that are under the heading of geometry is area and perimeter. So that's what we worked on a little bit earlier with our packets of being able to find perimeter and then area. And we also then did some 2x1 multiplication, so we could get a little more practice with area and finding area of bigger areas that are larger than just multiplying by basic facts. So that's why we did a little 2x1 multiplication. And so today we're going to go back and then talk about angles again and polygons and symmetry. So today's video, I'm going to review those things with you, and then if you feel you have it and you feel you're pretty good with 2x1 multiplication, you can stop the video and go and do your work. If you still want some more practice with 2x1 multiplication, I am going to do a little extended video if you want to stay and get your whiteboards or some scratch paper, and we'll do some 2x1 multiplication together to give you a little more practice and give yourself some confidence if that's not quite coming as easy as you thought, because we're going to use 2x1 multiplication later in the week to build on for another step on that. So I want to make sure you have a good understanding and some practice with that. So stay tuned for a little bit more of the video today than if you want to review 2x1 multiplication with me. Okay? So area and perimeter we've worked on, and we've know that area is the amount that's covered in square units. So the next part of geometry that I want to review are angles. And we spent some time talking about types of angles, both in our work and with our calendar math. So remember, there are these 4 types of angles that we've talked about a lot. Are acute angles, which are less than 90 degrees. We know that obtuse angles are bigger than 90. We have our right angles, where we've used our handy-dandy angle finders to find things that had a square corner. So something like this would be a square corner, or using our little stickies to find square corners. And then also our straight angles that were exactly 180 degrees. Then from those angles, we could also build different types of triangles or quadrilaterals, or any size is going to have angles, any kind of shape. So we knew that we could have a right triangle. We could also, I tried really hard to make this an equilateral triangle, our obtuse triangles, and then also a quadrilateral that would have 4 right angles. So our angles then transferred into different types of shapes. Then from our angles, we went on to talk about just lines, okay? We know a straight line, which would be a 180 degree angle. Sometimes those lines came in pairs. So if we had 2 lines that were the exact same distance apart, or 3 lines, and they never crossed, they would be parallel lines. If those lines crossed at exactly a 90 degree angle, and again, we could use our handy-dandy angle finder to say, oh, yep, that's exactly a 90 degree angle right there, then we know those were that fun word, perpendicular lines. And then the last type of lines we talked about were intersecting. So if they crossed, they're intersecting. Sometimes they would cross and they would be perpendicular. Sometimes they would just be intersecting. Okay? So those were the types of lines we discussed, which then led us to another type of way a line is used, and that was to divide things to see if they were symmetrical, or lines of symmetry. Some figures may not have any lines of symmetry. Some could have only 1 line. Some could have 2, 3, 4, depending on the shape. But remember, a line of symmetry is where a line divides and the shape into two exact shapes. So in our classroom we use mirrors too, and just to put a mirror on a line to see if the exact same shape showed up in the mirror. So symmetrical, lines of symmetry. Lines of symmetry are used on polygons. Now remember, a polygon would be a figure that cannot have any curves or rounded sides. It has to have all straight edges, and the polygon cannot have any gaps. All the lines have to meet. So looking at my polygons right here, this one, all straight lines, everything's closed up. The second one has all straight lines, but there's a gap in it, so that would be a non-polygon. So those are some of the things that you will be looking at in your work today. So remember, this is for day 1, Monday, May 4. And if you didn't quite catch all those words, you can go back and watch the video again. But your job is then to do the review page that goes over things, a lot of vocabulary we just discussed, solve that. And then the back side is drawing some angles, and then an area and perimeter problem, because that's still part of geometry, and it's a 2x1 multiplication. So please use the area or the array model to solve it. You've got some extra space down here. Give the challenge a try too if you'd like. Then Tuesday, your packet is still reviewing geometry. So the first thing you're going to do on your Tuesday packet is identify all these kinds of angles, and the words for them are right at the top: acute, obtuse, or right. I don't think there's any straight ones on there. And then the back side is applying area model for an kind of an extended response. Okay, so that's your work for Monday and Tuesday in your packets this week. And enjoy that and be ready for some new learning for our video on Wednesday. Okay, so if you feel you're ready to go off and do those packets, you may stop the video. If you would like a little more practice of 2x1 multiplication, I'm going to do some on the whiteboard and we'll practice together. So I'm going to pause the video for just a second if you need to go get some scratch paper, or if you want to go get your whiteboard, and click back on, and we will practice together. Okay, come on back. Okay, fourth graders, if you are wanting to practice with me, the first equation we're going to do is 43 times 7. So if we're going to do the area model, let's go ahead and draw our big rectangle. Okay. Then we're multiplying times 7, so that's one of our dimensions. We're going to put 7 on the side. 43 in expanded form is 40 and 3. I'm going to draw a line just to divide this. So I know this area for my equation, you can do this with me, is I want to multiply this number times this number. So let's write that in the box. 40 times 7. This line, because it's the same as this line, is I'm multiplying times 7. So this box is going to be 3 times 7. Okay? So my basic fact, 4 times 7, 7 plus 7 is 14, and another 14 is 28. And it's a multiple of 10, so I'm going to place my 0, so that's 280. And then 7 3 times is 21. So I'm going to take those two totals, 280 plus 21, and I get 301 for my total. Okay. So here's another one. Let's try. Let's scoot it down a little bit. Okay. Let's try 58 times 5. Draw our area model. We're going to make a division. This line and this line both represent times 5. 50 and 8 is my expanded form, how I'd break apart 58. Okay? Would you please write what is going to go in this box? What am I multiplying here? So we put 50 times 5. And 5 times 5, write it down. And then I'm multiplying 10 times more, placing my 0. And 5 8 times is my equation, which is 40. So to solve this, I need to add 250 plus 40, a grand total of 290. Okay? I'm going to place one more up here. I'm going to give time for you to do it on your own. And then I'm going to pause the video and then I will solve it. And then you can solve yours and then click on the video when you're done and see if we match. Okay? The next one is going to be 87 times 6. Okay? Go ahead and solve that in your area model. And stop the video and turn it on when you're done. Okay, how do we do, fourth graders? Okay, 87 times 6. So this is 80 times 6 for my equation, which should be 480 in the box. 7 times 6 is 42, that in the box. If I add 480 plus 42, I would come up with 522 for a total. Okay, so fourth graders, I hope that helped to go over that again if you still weren't confident on that. If you want a couple more problems to work on, you could try 63 times, let's do 63 times 6. You could try 47 times 9, okay? Do those on your own. Remember, the biggest thing to do is break apart. This is 40 plus 7. This is 60 plus 3. And remember, this line and this line are always going to be the same dimension. So that's where you get what you're multiplying in your last box, okay? So it's really important to have this skill down because Wednesday we're starting and going on to 3 by 1 multiplication. So there's the scoop for what's coming up. Okay, good practice and hopefully it's coming along. If not, please reach out to your teachers for help or email me or whatever you need. I'll be happy to go over it with you again. Okay, see you soon.